Welcome to the Stoic Golden Tribe, where enduring wisdom meets the strength of presence, and where we uncover the truths modern society refuses to teach men. Have you ever stared at your phone, waiting for a message that never came? Wondering if the silence meant something deeper? If it was your fault? If you mattered less than you thought? Believe it or not, when she doesn't call or message you for a long time, it speaks volumes. Not always about her, but about you, your expectations, your emotional awareness, and how you've been conditioned to chase validation rather than build value. This isn't just about relationships. It's about power, presence, and personal growth. In this video, we're going to break it down into 4 powerful chapters that will challenge how you see silence, reframe what distance means, and equip you with the wisdom to stand strong, no matter who leaves, no matter who stays. We'll use daily life truths, Asian philosophy, realistic scenarios, and deep emotional insights, all crafted to help you level up as a man, not just in love, but in life. If you're ready to stop chasing and start attracting, like, share, and subscribe, and drop a comment below to let us know where you are in your journey. Silence, distance, or clarity. Chapter 1. Silence speaks, even when no words are said. Silence is often mistaken for indifference, but in truth, silence is one of the loudest messages a person can send. When she doesn't call or message you for a long time, it's not just a pause in communication. It's a mirror reflecting what you need to see about yourself and about the relationship. Let's be honest, most men were never taught how to interpret emotional distance. We're told to man up, to wait it out, to double text, and keep proving ourselves. But the moment you feel that absence, that void, it's your opportunity to ask a powerful question. Am I chasing her, or am I choosing me? When a woman stops reaching out, it can mean a variety of things. Maybe she's lost interest, maybe she's testing you, maybe she's simply busy. But no matter the reason, here's what it always means. You must not depend on her presence to define your worth. The ancient Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu once said, "Care about what other people think and you will always be their prisoner." When you overthink her silence, when you attach your peace of mind to whether she replies or not, you're no longer in control. You're trapped in her absence. Let me give you a realistic example. Take Ray, a 27-year-old man who had been texting a girl he really liked. They'd spent weeks building what seemed like a genuine connection. Then suddenly, she vanished. No replies, no calls. 3 days became 3 weeks. And Ray, he spiraled, checking his phone every hour, stalking her social media, doubting himself. Sound familiar? But here's what Ray realized. Her silence wasn't his enemy. It was his teacher. It showed him the emotional gap he needed to fill within himself. He started journaling. He hit the gym. He picked up a new skill. When she finally messaged again, he wasn't waiting. He had moved, not on from her. That's the shift. Silence isn't about her, it's about you. Are you strong enough to stay centered even when the world, or a woman, goes quiet? Here's the truth most men overlook. A woman's silence isn't always rejection. Sometimes it's redirection. A callback to your own power, to stop obsessing over being chosen and start choosing yourself, to stop waiting and start building. In Japanese Zen tradition, monks often meditate in total silence for days, not because they're punishing themselves, but because in silence, the deepest truths emerge. You hear your real voice when the noise dies down. So if she's silent, that's your cue to go inward, reflect, grow, rise. Because the most attractive man is not the one who waits. He's the one who continues. Don't chase her message. Become the message. Let your progress speak. Let your purpose reply. Drop a comment below. I build, not beg. Let the world know you're choosing strength over sorrow. Chapter 2. When you're out of sight, you're not always out of mind. We've all heard the saying, out of sight, out of mind. But here's the reality. Emotional presence goes far deeper than physical or digital presence. Just because she hasn't called or messaged you in days, or even weeks, doesn't mean you've been forgotten. But it does mean something has shifted, and your job isn't to guess what's in her head. Your job is to understand what's happening inside yours. Many men confuse distance with disrespect, but often that distance is just a reflection of where the connection truly stood all along. If a woman pulls away and you feel lost, anxious, or enraged, it's not just about her, it's about how much of your identity was tied to her validation. Here's the emotional truth. A man who needs constant reassurance is a man who hasn't yet built inner security. And that's where the pain begins. Not when she leaves, but when you realize your self-worth was dependent on someone else staying. Let's use a real example. Kenji, a 32-year-old office worker in Osaka, fell hard for a woman he met during a company project. They texted every day. She laughed at his jokes. They had chemistry. Then one day, she stopped replying. No reason, no warning, just silence. Kenji panicked. He wrote long messages, apologized even though he didn't know why, and in doing so, he unknowingly confirmed a harsh truth. He was more interested in being accepted than being respected. But eventually, Kenji stopped texting. He stopped waiting. Instead, he started observing. He noticed how much energy he was giving away, not just to her, but to anyone who didn't match his effort. And he made a decision. From now on, he would give to himself first. In Buddhism, there's a concept called anatta, or non-self. It teaches that we suffer because we cling, not just to people, but to the ideas we have about them. You don't suffer because she didn't call. You suffer because you believed she had to, because you expected her to behave a certain way. When you let go of that expectation, something powerful happens. You stop needing her response to validate your reality. You see her silence as her journey, not your punishment. That's not cold, that's clarity. Understand this. A woman might pull away to protect her own space, to process her own emotions, or because she's confused about what she wants, but that doesn't mean you need to pause your life or shrink your worth. A high-value man remains steady even when others are uncertain. If she returns, you'll be grounded. If she doesn't, you'll still rise. And here's the most counterintuitive truth. Your absence teaches more than your presence ever could. When you step back without bitterness, without games, and without desperation, you show maturity, you show depth, you show that you're not afraid of distance because you don't lose yourself in anyone else. In traditional Chinese wisdom, there's a saying, flow like water, hold like the mountain. It means adapt when you must, but remain unshakable at your core. So when she goes silent, don't crash like a wave. Stand like a mountain. Let her absence come and go like weather around you. But don't let it move your foundation. Drop a comment below. I don't chase peace, I become it. Let others know you're walking in quiet confidence, not emotional chaos. Chapter 3. You were conditioned to chase. Now it's time to lead. From a young age, many men are taught that love is about pursuit. That if you just try hard enough, prove yourself enough, sacrifice enough, she'll stay. But what if I told you that this conditioning is what's killing your confidence? You were trained to believe that silence is a sign to chase harder. But a king does not chase. He builds, he attracts, and he allows what's not aligned to fall away, without fear. When she doesn't message you for a long time, your first instinct might be to fill the gap, to break the silence, to restore the connection. But ask yourself, is this truly love, or is this fear of being alone? Let's talk about Dev, a 29-year-old freelancer in Mumbai. Dev had been seeing someone for a few months. Long phone calls, thoughtful gestures, deep conversations. But slowly, she started replying less. The warmth turned cold. Then came the silence. Friends told him to move on, but Dev couldn't. Because somewhere deep inside, he still believed that if he didn't fight for her, it meant he wasn't worthy of love. That belief broke him more than her absence. But something changed when Dev had a conversation with his grandfather. an old school man who had lived through war, loss, and rebuilding his entire life. His grandfather said, "A man does not chase what runs from him. He stands still and builds what time cannot take." That hit hard. Dev realized that the woman's silence wasn't about him being not enough. It was about life showing him where he still needed healing. He stopped trying to earn her love. Instead, he started earning his own respect. He began waking up early, meditating, writing again, and setting goals for himself. Not to impress her, but to reclaim himself. This is the heart of Asianet wisdom, a focus on your center, not their direction. In many Eastern teachings, including Taoism, the masculine energy is not frantic. It is still, deep, and immovable. The mountain doesn't run after the breeze. It watches, it endures, and it thrives in stillness. If you make your worth dependent on someone else's attention, you give away your crown. But if you use that silence as fuel, as guidance, as a call to leadership, you rise into your power. Leadership in this sense isn't about controlling others. It's about mastering yourself. It's being the man who doesn't panic when she goes silent. It's being the man who doesn't break when emotions rise. It's being the man who holds his frame when the world gives him reasons to fall apart. True power is not in the response. It's in the restraint. Stop proving. Start improving. Stop chasing. Start creating. Because the more you invest in becoming a grounded, visionary, emotionally intelligent man, the more you'll attract women who see you, respect you, and value your time and presence. Drop a comment below. I lead with presence, not pressure. Let the tribe know you're no longer chasing ghosts. You're building greatness. Chapter 4. Her silence is the answer. Now what will you do with it? You've waited. You've wondered. You've overanalyzed every word, every message, every moment. And still, silence. At some point, brother, you have to accept the truth that hurts before it can heal. Her silence is your answer. And no response is a response. But don't let that devastate you. Let it liberate you. You see, when someone chooses silence over communication, it doesn't always mean they hate you. Sometimes they're confused. Sometimes they're unsure. And sometimes, yes, they've just moved on. But whatever the reason, one thing is clear. They are no longer pouring energy into the connection. That's not rejection. That's revelation. Now the choice is yours. Will you keep staring at the closed door? Or will you turn around and build a new one? One that leads to a life so full, so purposeful, so solid that you never again need someone else's attention to feel complete? Let me tell you about Aaron, a 35-year-old expat living in Bangkok. Aaron fell deeply for a woman who made him feel seen. But after a year of connection, she became distant. At first, he justified it. Maybe she's busy, maybe she's stressed. Weeks turned into months. No clarity, just confusion. That emotional limbo almost broke him. But one night, after weeks of overthinking, he looked at himself in the mirror and said, "If I have to beg for clarity, it's not love. It's a lesson." That night, Aaron deleted the message he was about to send. Not out of anger, but out of awakening. He realized that love shouldn't feel like waiting in the rain for someone who forgot you were standing there. Instead of falling apart, he fell forward. He picked up martial arts, he traveled, he rebuilt his network. And most importantly, he stopped waiting for closure from someone who had already closed the chapter. This is your moment to do the same. In Eastern philosophy, particularly in Zen Buddhism, there's a beautiful idea. Before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. What does that mean? It means life goes on, with or without answers. The healing is in the discipline. The growth is in the doing. And the freedom is in letting go. If she doesn't reach out, let that be your reminder. You have yourself. You have your time. You have your mission. And no one can take those from you. Don't wait to be chosen. Choose yourself. Don't pause your life for someone who's no longer showing up in it. Instead, Level up so hard that silence becomes your sanctuary, not your prison. Let your journey inspire others. Let your strength speak louder than her silence. Let your life become the message that never needed words. Drop a comment below. Her silence taught me to choose myself. Let the tribe know you're not broken. You're being built. If this message hit your soul, like, share, and subscribe to stay connected with the Stoic Golden Tribe, where we turn pain into power and silence into strength.